Hey everyone, how's it going? Puntastic77 here, coming to you with some Team Fortress 2. I hope you're doing well. I'm playing a little bit of upward here, some defense, holding the card off, playing some soldier with the stock rocket launcher here with my little kill streak thing. I just got that a few weeks ago, so I wanted to use that. I find myself only using now the weapons with the kill streaks, and I think I only have it on two things as of now, which is the rocket launcher, which is what I first got it for, and the Engineer's Southern Hospitality Wrench, just because I thought my thinking was like, well, how can I get a godlike really quickly? And it was like, oh, maybe if I set up a sentry gun and, put it in a good position. In pubs, it doesn't really work out too well, because once you kill a few people with a sentry gun, they like to take it out, and most of the time, you're around the sentry gun here. But anyways, on to the gameplay. I switched up the buff banner to the battalion's backup, because my thinking was, you know what, you get the extra health and you get the defensive boost here, and most of the time I'm never getting my buff banner filled up in pubs anyways, unless I have like a strict pocket medic here. So I switched that up here, and we got a good little streak going, so I wanted to show that to you all. In this gameplay, it's really funny, because the whole week I had this topic in mind that I wanted to talk about, but I was like, could I get a gameplay that kind of exemplifies what I wanted to talk about? And this basically is the perfect gameplay for that, in my opinion here. And the reason it is because from the beginning I just felt this was like a really wacky game, because for one, I think the whole blue team was playing as huntsman snipers, and for me, I'm like, okay, if these guys want to dick around and not, go for the card and think they're cool and stuff, you're gonna lose, and that's, spoiler alert, what ended up happening with them. And I was able to roll him, so I was happy about that, and I got a good kill streak off of it. But it made me think, like, this was like a very hollow victory for me, At the end, they ended up switching to normal classes, and things that'll actually help. But for the majority of it, they're playing as these huntsman snipers, and I felt like, okay, I'm beating a bunch of huntsman snipers. I'm the best of the worst. That's a hollow victory in my mind, but it's like, it's something still, And that's what I wanted to talk about with you all, because are you the best of the worst at something? Are you the worst of the best at something? And would you prefer to be one or the other? Like, what would you rather be? It's a really interesting question. So, like, an example in the real world here, and then we'll talk about TF2. So, real world example, if you have no idea what I'm talking about here, is like, let's say you are on the best basketball team in the country, like the best high school basketball team, the best college basketball team, but you're like the worst player on that team. If you were to be on another team, you'd be like the top player, the starter, like the hero of that team. But because you are on the the best basketball team, and you're like playing with players who are good as well, you're not really the best. Do you want that? Or would you rather be in that lower tier division, but like, oh man, Puntastic is the best shitty basketball player, or not, not a skilled basketball player. So when it comes to TF2, I remember my first season of competitive. So I started from the bottom, now we're here, as they say. No, I don't play competitive anymore, but I started at the bottom rank, bottom division. What is it, like bronze or steel? Or not bronze, it's like bronze or some brown color or something like that. Anyways, and we did pretty good. We made it to the playoffs our first season. I was like, oh my god, I made it to the playoffs. I was playing medic, that's fun. But I'm like, if we probably played in a higher division, we'd probably be playing with people who weren't dicking around using like ridiculous class setups, and we're just playing for fun with their friends, and we'd be playing with people who take this game way more serious, and it would make your skill level a lot higher. Like, after a while, you'd start to, catch up with things. And that's really like my logic when it comes to me saying that I'd rather be in the best like tier. If we're looking at like the worst and the best, I'd rather be the bottom of the best tier than the top of the worst tier. So what do I mean by that, and why do I want that? So for me, I'd rather be considered the worst best TF2 player, or the lowest ranked best TF2 player, or the lowest ranked smartest guy in the world, if that makes any sense. Because for one, in the TF2 world, if you're playing against people who are really good all the time, your skill level can only go up. You're going to pick up tips and tricks from the best people. I think skill has a ceiling. But that's just an opinion, and we'll talk about that in a different video here. But yeah, the video is coming down to a close. We only got about 15 seconds left or 20 seconds left here. What do you think? Would you rather live in the moment of glory and be the best of the worst player, you know, basically be a midget among dwarves? Or would you rather be just the average guy among, you know, the top tier players? I personally think your skill level will go up if you're around a lot of good people, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the new matchmaking coming up with TF2? We'll talk about that in a couple videos later here, but thank you all for watching so much. Appreciate it.